Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Propulsion Swimming Podcast. It's that time of year again. It's one of our favourite meets of the year, one of the loudest weekends of racing and one of the most fun weekends in Sheffield if you get the chance to experience it. It's BUCS Short Course and this week we're going to be previewing all.
Yeah, short course is, I don't know if it's more fun than long course. I think you have your more casual
crowd.
Summers. There's definitely a different crowd. I think that's probably the best terminology, different crowd. And of course, this pool is split into two. You have the men's side, the women's side, and it's just a raucous atmosphere. And I think that's pretty much what we say every year. It is extremely enjoyable. I unfortunately can't go this weekend, but I know you're going this weekend. And it's a good event, good fun. And it's free to watch, as we always say as well. So it's probably a good idea to go and see some of our best swimmers that this country has to offer right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We are huge champions of university swimming here in the UK. Yes, it's never going to reach the heights of NCAAs. Well, you know what? It could. It could. We could try and get it there. But some of the names that have come through the system in this country are huge. They are superstars of the sport. They've raced in this arena, and we're going to go through the swimmers to watch in this week's episode and discuss a little bit of the racing this weekend in Sheffield, because as much as we say it's like the party weekend, we didn't say that, but it is the party weekend for a lot of university swimmers. When you start swimming at university, this is why me and Dan went to BUCS. Not really to swim competitively, but there's a competitive element for me and Dan to talk about because it's the first real hit out for a lot of these swimmers in the 2025-2026 season, especially those who didn't go to the World Cup series. And we do love it. And I actually think we'll get into this. We'll end with this. But it's one of the harder years to call who's going to come out on top, because usually we have these preview podcasts and we go, Loughborough.
Yeah.
Obviously, Stirling got the women's title at long course BUCS last year, and there's some discussions to be had because it's a resetting of the guard across the board for a lot of universities, and it's going to be close. It's going to be really close at the top end of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I actually feel relatively confident saying that the Stirling women are going to win it again. Ooh. But then, overall, I don't know. Honestly, I mean, the safe bet is probably to stick with Loughborough again, but actually I think there's a lot of universities, a lot of swimmers that can steal some points off Loughborough, your Baths, your Stirling, your Manchesters, your people like that, and you think, actually, that might change the whole complexion of the points. So it's actually really exciting from that point of view, because it's not just a guaranteed, Loughborough are going to win it again. I think it's going to be a lot closer this year, which makes it exciting.
Absolutely. And this is a pleading call as we head into BUCS. If organisers are listening, if anyone who's doing the media side of BUCS, I'm going to be there. I'm going to try my best to get this out there. Please give us the scores as we are going along. Because last year, long course BUCS, there was a lot of drama in how close it was between Stirling and Loughborough. And no one knew. No one had any idea how close it was until really the final day of racing.
I mean, some people don't know what
this is.
I don't know the point system, if I'm honest.
You know what?
How many points do you get for a win? How many points do you get for a second? No idea. And I think that needs to be sort of addressed from the get-go and even mentioned halfway through or, in separate segments. Because I think this one might be the most exciting short course in terms of closeness at the top that we're going to have probably ever, if I'm recording.
Yeah, you look at the Loughborough teams of past, and they are stacked to the hills, full of Olympians from worldwide. This year,
there's a lot of swimmers
there's
not
still
racing
some absolute
at BUCS.
Studs in their team.
Oh yes, for
Put it
sure.
that way.
But there's a lot of swimmers who are not racing at BUCS. This is not just Loughborough, but across the board actually. But yeah, Loughborough, I think, are missing some key players, like Dan Wiffring, for example, is a massive miss. Lauren Cox is a huge miss as well. But there are other swimmers that will also be a miss on other universities. Kenna McInnes for Stirling. It's going to be a bit of a change of the guard, potentially. So it'll be very exciting. I'm quite sort of looking forward to it.
One swimmer I'm gutted he's no longer doing BUCS. Because it was my favourite thing. It was pretty much my favourite thing to go and see at BUCS was Ollie Morgan. Backstroke. Aiming for British records at BUCS. And that was his... I want to see that's where he broke out. That's where the confidence came for his breakout seasons. It was 3-4 years ago now. But that's where the momentum came at BUCS meets for University of Birmingham. So this can happen for the top end swimmers. This can be the springboard for the rest of their season. We've seen like Tyler Melbourne Smith, how he's progressed from BUCS podiums on to British champs and challenging, like even having the confidence to say, yeah, I'm going for that 4x2 relay team. Yeah. So for no Ollie Morgan, it's a big miss. Not just for me, for University of Birmingham are definitely going to miss him for the points that he always brought in, not just on backstroke, on the freestyle relays. Other names like Kiana McInnes is a huge miss. Michaela Glenister as well for Stirling. Yep. Two big names who I know they were very happy to win the title for them last year. And what we've done, rather than talking about names that are not there, we reached out to the top 6 short course universities last year. So Loughborough, Stirling, Bath, Edinburgh, Birmingham and Swansea. And we said, guys, we know the swimming scene. Like we can pick out swimmers, but who do you think from your squads are going to be the ones to watch this weekend? And 4 out of the 6 replied. Not all of them replied. But we're going to take you through the swimmers to watch from those universities. And I think it's only fair to start with the reigning champions, Loughborough.
Yeah, and I think this is probably, what Loughborough responded with are the two, probably the most obvious ones, your Freya Colbert and Max Litchfield.
I think they're massive.
Who are going to be, especially Max, I think on the men's side, he's going to be a key cog. But then again, I think Freya as well, because she might steal some points off Stirling, for example. But I think that the Stirling relays might just do it for them this year. But Max is going to be doing, I think I looked at the programme, he's racing almost everything. Yeah, he's doing everything. So as long as he races everything and comes top 2, then Loughborough are going to win points. As with Freya as well, who's probably going to win the 200, the 400. And she's doing the IMs as well, a bit of backstroke. So she's doing a lot of racing as well. So they're the top 2 most obvious ones, if you like, from Loughborough to watch out for.
They have some new names as well. So one who has certainly shone on the BUCS scene for Leeds is Jordan Cooley. That is a new pickup. He's obviously at the Loughborough Performance Centre now under Dave Hemmings. That one could be big as well because they've lost some freestylers. Alex Cahoon is no longer racing BUCS. Calvin Fry has gone over to Texas. Those are 2 big sprint freestylers to leave the team. Replace them with Jordan Cooley, who on occasion got the better of both of them. That's quite a nice pickup. And then on the para side, they pick up Scarlett Humphreys with her twin sister now racing at Swansea University. So it's going to be good to see them going head-to-head in the S11 category. Like the depth, I want to say the depth isn't there for Loughborough as it has been in previous years, but maybe it's just not known. Maybe this is the year. I have been told that they've got a really good freshman class that have come in. They're really excited about some of those names. Maddox Roberts had a really breakout year last year on the freestyle side for them, so he's another name to look out for. Men's side, I think they're safe. I think they're safe on the men's side if Max Litchfield doesn't burn out because he is doing 1,000,001 events. Yeah,
but he's very fit and very versatile, so I imagine he will do it. I think the addition of Jordan Cooley is an important one, and Maddox, like you say as well, to kind of fill the void of the 50 free and 100 free. I think Jordan actually has entered fastest for the 100 free as well, so I suppose expected to win, which would be a massive boost for Loughborough, plus relays as well. Yeah, talking about the men's side, you feel quite confident with that. I'm very much umming and ahhing because I'm looking at the Bath team members.
Oh, okay.
And they could steal some points. There's a strong backstroke contingent there, obviously, which we'll get to. We'll get to Bath later.
I mean,
but a lot of those guys...
Let's go into it. I think the backstroke contingent at Bath is so strong that Matt Ward isn't racing it. Like, he is there and there, here and there, but he's on the butterfly individuals. He's on the freestyle. He's on the IM.
Well, this
when
is the
100 back comes around, him and Cam Brooker aren't racing it.
Well, this is the amazing thing. I think someone like Cam, who's, I think, a specialist at short course racing because the underwaters are so good, because he is so good at that. The freestyle events are strong for him as well.
He's going for the freestyle ones, mainly.
Yeah, the 200 free I know he's going for. So I think they are possible obstacles for Loughborough in terms of winning points on the men's side, because I think those 3 names, your Jack Scarry, Brooker, Matt Ward, I think they can be easy top twos in most races that they do, which is a problem for the Loughborough male swimmers, which is why I'm quite excited. I just think potentially this might not be Loughborough's year, which makes it exciting. And then you question the depth.
I don't know the depth of the Bath squad is there, but the top end is really top.
Well, that's what I mean. That's where you get the points. You get the points in the top two, don't you? So
your top two swimmers, if that makes sense. So your top two swimmers score points, and beyond that, I will ask, and we will put a short out of how BUCS is scored.
Oh no, actually, I think a reel would be actually really quite useful for everyone. Like, how on earth how does this work? But yeah, I think there's an obstacle there that Bath can get a couple of points over Loughborough, and then maybe that opens the door for someone like Stirling. So
the message and the receipt that we got from Bath was very quick when we said, who is your swimmer to look out for? Cam Brooker. Last BUCS. He's going to go out with a bang, is what we've been told.
Yep.
So very, very excited. Okay, the reigning long course BUCS champions, Stirling. Yes, they've lost the likes of Kiana McInnes, but this team is stacked to the hills. Angharad Evans, it's her first hit out of the season. We get to see what she's doing in the short course scene. Katie Shanahan, Lucy Grieve, Holly McGill, Evie Davis, all big names in a big year for Scottish swimming with a home Commonwealth Games on the horizon. Now, I've always been reading Dave Hemming's Substack and like his blog posts that he's been putting out about not peaking around November, December time of year, not putting too much load on the swimmers, not trying to build up too much expectation, especially when there's a big meet and a big home Commonwealth Games on the horizon. That sort of logic will apply to the Stirling team. That being said, I saw how much this meant to them last year in what was a smaller squad than Loughborough, but they came out on top. Can they do it again in the short course scene? I mean, I would love to follow it step by step and see how it goes.
I mean, I think we keep coming back to what we were saying before. Like, we just need to know the points update as the meet goes on. I mean, all the names you just mentioned there were all female, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards a Stirling female win, which would be massive. You just mentioned Angharad. Like, will she go for...
huge. It would be huge because Loughborough have not lost yet at short course.
Yeah. But I think you just named so many names there. I mean, that's a relay team right there. You know, Angharad on the breaststroke. You've got Katie Shanahan or Holly McGill on the backstroke. Evie's on the freestyle. Lucy's on the fly. I mean, you're not beating that relay team, are you, medley-wise? I mean, they're extremely strong freestyle as well.
Well, you've written the motivational speech if anyone wants to take them down, haven't you?
Yeah. I think it's going to be very difficult to beat the Stirling women, honestly. I suppose the biggest problem they have, if it is a problem, is the men's side. But you have someone like Evan Jones and swimmers like that. Oh, not Evan Jones. He's at Manchester, isn't he?
Well, no, he is. Interestingly, he is actually racing for Stirling, so he must be completing his degree remotely. But he's actually training at the Manchester Performance Centre. So a little bit of a weird one to get your head round.
So again, he could potentially do really well in the 100 free, 200 free, those sort of events, and could potentially snatch a top 2 position, which could upset Loughborough swimmers, for example. So anything can happen. I leaning towards Stirling being a real strong contender for an overall win here.
Well, look, we put a poll out on Instagram just before we recorded this podcast, and it's a near 50-50 split.
Is it?
As to like where everyone thinks this is going to go. Whether that is just everyone from Loughborough voting Loughborough and everyone who doesn't go to Loughborough voting for Stirling. Who knows? Who knows? We'll have to dig into it. But it isn't just these teams that we've talked about. There's so many other swimmers. And like we said, top 6 teams from last year we reached out to. Birmingham, they've lost Ollie Morgan. They've gained an Acaro. Izzy Acaro, twin sister to Eva Acaro, is now there. She, this weekend, heading into BUCS, or last weekend, broke their university record in the 50 free. She's going in the 50, 100, and 50 fly, and she will be right there in amongst it on her first BUCS appearance, which is some doing.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I don't have the program up in front of me, but she's in top 4 position.
50 free, definitely the 50 free.
Those events, isn't she? And of course, when it comes to a 50, anything can happen. I mean, the Okaros are extremely strong at sprinting. We all know about Eve, obviously, but Izzy is very, very strong as well.
Edinburgh, then. Now, we know Archie Goodburn, actually, he's lost a lot of his competition in the breaststroke events. There's one from Swansea that we'll get to in a little bit, but he is the name on the men's side for Edinburgh. But actually, it's the women's side that I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. His partner, Kiara Slosson, started to have a big breakout year last year, and I expect that momentum to carry on into this season as she really challenges Lucy Grieve in the butterfly events. Obviously, there's no more Kiana in the butterfly, and throughout all of last season, there really felt like there was a confidence to what she was doing in the butterfly events. Yes, she was going up against the Olympians of Laura Stevens, and actually you felt like she could have got amongst like the senior British team. Like, it wouldn't have been a surprise for her to go in the 2-fly, as an example. She raced last year at the University World Games, and I think she's going to be a big point scorer for Edinburgh.
Yeah, I think the Slossons, both of them actually, both Leah and Kiara, are going to do really well here. They've got big ceilings, I think. Obviously, Leah has had her first international competition last season, and I think Kiara's not a million miles away, like you were saying as well. And maybe this could be the Ollie Morgan story for her, where this might be the breakout meet that she needs to say, look, I'm here, and then move on to bigger and better things. Who knows? But yeah, Kiara's a big name, and actually I think a bigger name, especially on the para side, is Faye Rogers. I mean, last season she was
otherworldly,
but I'm trying to think of the right word, but the best para swimmer for sure in this country, breaking multiple world records.
We'll get to that later this year.
We've got our awards coming up. I've kind of spoiled one of them for you, but I think Faye Rogers was absolutely phenomenal last season, and I kind of expect her to carry on doing what she's doing. I know it's short course, but she's going to continue hitting Scottish records, probably world records as well. We'll see how she gets on, but fly is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, she moves from Patrick Miley in Aberdeen over to Matt Trodden in Edinburgh. And Matt Trodden obviously has done wonderful things with Stephen Clegg in his para career. Faye Rogers is already an absolute superstar. I would have thought the main driving force in the move was actually probably studies more than swimming, because she was getting a lot of success in Aberdeen. But I think we all know the academic opportunities that going to Edinburgh University can offer.
Yeah, I mean, it helps
away from the pool.
Yeah, it does help. Yeah.
Okay, I teased it a little bit earlier, but a breaststroker from Swansea was one of their swimmers to watch. Josh Inglis in the 50, 100 and 200 metres breaststroke. This recommendation comes from Lewis Fraser, who is a BUCS champion in his own right in multiple events. And Amy Monks in the 100, 200 and 400 metres freestyle as well. She's going to be there amongst it in the podiums. I mean, she's going to have Freya Colbert in the 2 and 4, but behind Freya Colbert, there's an absolute battle.
Yep. Let's talk about Josh.
Actually, I'll finish that and I'll round this out. Swansea depth excites me. Like, out of those universities we've just said, maybe like even competing with your Baths, the Swansea depth across the board is good. It is looking good, and like we've just said, Commonwealth Games for Wales. Dan, you've raced in Wales. It's big.
That's a big deal. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, let's start with Josh then. Obviously, Greg Butler no longer racing at BUCS. You mentioned Archie Goodburn; he will be racing there. So really, there's a spot to be had. There's an opportunity to win your first BUCS, and potentially hit BUCS records or things like that. Get points for Swansea. So I think Josh is a big swimmer to look out for on the Swansea point of view. And then Amy Monks, yes, like you said, there's a certain Freya Colbert she's got to deal with. But actually, if she can get a second place behind her, and then who knows in the 100, for example, then there's points to be had. And like you said, the depth at Swansea is getting bigger and better all the time. Yeah, and will they challenge Bath? No.
Known for distance swimming, but there are swimmers across the board.
As much as we talk about Stirling versus Loughborough as the first position, actually the battle behind that sometimes is actually just as exciting. Your third, fourth, fifth position will be close again this year.
Close. Really, really close. And Swansea might just have the edge given the depth. And actually, with Dan Whiffin going and Nathan Whiffin going, the distance swimming... Yes, like Loughborough still have Tyler Melbourne-Smith, Harry Wynne Jones, Sean McCann. Swansea can get in amongst it with Alex Sargent. They have pedigree in the distance scene. We've known that ever since Dan Jervis was there. Like, they have an absolute chance to steal points at the distance scene for the first time in a very long time with a shaped hole.
Yeah. That's similar to the breaststroke situation where there's a bit of an opportunity there because big swimmers have kind of gone and, shoes need to be filled. And I suppose there's one more university we haven't spoken about, is the Manchester Met. I think the two big swimmers there are your Ed Mildred
big
and
swimmers. I wouldn't say
Kinsman. Well, that's what I mean. So there's no depth as such, let's say. But in terms of the big swimmers, I mean, Ed Mildred is flying right now, one of my favourite swimmers, as you all know. But Blythe Kinsman is also flying right now. So I kind of expect them to do really, really well. I know it's short course, and I think they're both better suited to long course, if I'm honest. But even still, it's a first run out. Let's see what they've got. And very excited to see how they get on.
Yeah, obviously they're with the Wizard up in Manchester, so it will be good to see Blythe after her transition from Mount Kelly, where she was a hugely successful junior, now with one of the best coaches in the country. Dan, we've rattled through that and we've dropped a lot of names.
Yeah.
What are the top races that you're looking forward to?
Backstroke and IM, if I'm honest. I think the 100 IM men's side, women's side is absolutely loaded. It was last year.
Everyone wants this one.
It's going to be the same again. I mean, it's just splash and dash race. I mean, there's not much swimming involved. It's turns, underwaters, and it's fast, it's quick fire, and it's very exciting. I mean, all of the names we've just listed earlier, I think, are racing it. So it's a big deal when you win it. I mean, last year it was a big deal when Lewis Fraser won it. I mean, it's almost like the blue ribbon event at BUCS, isn't it? The 100
I think
IM.
short course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
the event that you want to kind of win because it's so exciting. So yeah, the 100 IMs on both the men and women. The 200 IM for the women when you got Freya and Casey Shanahan racing against each other, and then the backstrokes. I think the 200 backstroke for men and women is super exciting as well because of the same names we've said: Shanahan, Freya Colbert, McGill, Osrin, Neve Ward, which we haven't mentioned at all. Very exciting.
The men's side, it will be how deep can Bath go on the podium and beyond in the 200 backstroke? Because last year Ollie Morgan was the only one who spoilt them. They had like 5 of the top 6, which is crazy. Now they did the little train celebration, I think, at European under 23s.
Yes.
Jack Skerry and Matt Ward. If they get 3, if they get the podium, if they get top 4, how about all 4 sit on the lane rope and we have to pause the meet because they've broken the lane rope?
I think that's likely, if I'm honest. I think that'll be a top 3. Not the broken lane rope. You never know.
Oh, you don't reckon?
But,
I think if 4 of them sit on it might.
Well, you see, I don't know. But I think that in terms of medals, I think you got your top 3, and then if a 4th happens as well, they'll all do it. And you've got to get your camera ready for that because that's an Instagram reel right there. So
absolutely,
yeah, good race, but I think a Bath are dominant in that 200 backstroke.
Absolutely, yeah. I am buzzing now to get off to Sheffield. This goes up the day before. I will be there hopefully on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, capturing all. Like I said, this is like me and Dan we want this to be as big as it should be. There shouldn't be dual meets in America bigger than BUCS. There shouldn't be, like, the coverage of this needs to be knocked out the park. This is the breeding ground for great swimmers in this country. Like we said, Ollie Morgan, but like Duncan Scott's come through this. There are huge swimmers who have raced at BUCS. There are big swimmers racing this year. I think we've gone through the whole list of names, but notable ones. Freya Colbert is going to have a very good short course season, especially at Europeans, off the back of what was a hugely impressive World Cup series. And yeah, just if you can't get to Sheffield, if you get to Sheffield and you get to enjoy what is one of the most fun weekends of swimming, great. Good luck getting to Sunday, but it's really good fun. If you can't get there, there is a live stream. Watch fast swimming. Like, this country needs eyes on the sport of swimming. We need to keep moving it forward, and I really think the university scene is the place to do that. Yeah,
I mean, we talked about the atmosphere at the start, and it is raucous. It is loud, especially when you've got both pools going at the same time. It's good fun. It really is. So I suppose the big question then, I'll throw this to you first. Who wins on the men's side for you? And then we'll go women, then we'll go overall.
I think the men's side Loughborough, because they still have some really good top end swimmers along with depth. The women's side, if I'm Stirling, I'm afraid of how many points Freya Colbert could win. That'd be the only thing. And they still have some really, really good swimmers beyond Freya Colbert, but they've lost a few as well. I'm going to go Stirling on the women's side, and overall, I think I go Loughborough, because I think all of those names that we've mentioned, your Baths, your Edinburgh, your Swanseas, I think that actually hurts Stirling trying to win points on the guys' side, because there's a lot of depth on the guys' side beyond Loughborough who can actually take points away from the overall total.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Loughborough men, Stirling women, and I'm really umming and ahhing who then wins overall.
Really?
Yeah, I just think the Stirling men. I mean, you've got some decent breaststrokers for Stirling men who could upset the apple cart. Evan Jones, like we just said as well. But really, it's the women. How many points can the women get over all the other women teams? I kind of want to say Stirling, but at the same time, my head's saying, what are you talking about? Loughborough, I think, are just too strong just at the moment. But I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to go for a Stirling win overall.
That would be huge.
I just kind of want to see the reaction, if I'm honest.
Loughborough have never lost an overall swimming title in the whole existence of BUCS.
Yeah. So a bit of history basically to be made. So I'd be excited if that were to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if Loughborough go and win it all again.
Behind the top two, I think is an absolute dogfight.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Behind the you know what? They could absolutely get amongst it as well. Like, I've just looked, and some of the Edinburgh depth is really there. They've picked up some really nice junior swimmers like Evan Davidson. Yeah, it could go beyond just the top two as well. Like we've mentioned Swansea's depth. I've just looked at the 1500. They've got two of the top three. They've not had that for a while. It's It's going to be close. It's going to be really, really close, which is why I think this is one of the more exciting years. You can't just go, well, Loughborough have got top. I don't think you
it's not like that. It's not as simple as that anymore.
Easily.
Yeah.
No, very, very exciting times. Okay, that just about rounds up this week's episode of the Propulsion Swimming Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little teaser into BUCS University Swimming. We're going to be back next week to discuss all the action up in Sheffield, because it is a fast weekend of racing that deserves discussing. And yeah, me and Dan will see you guys in 7 days' time.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next one.
You've been listening to the Propulsion Swimming Podcast with Scott and Dan. We want to thank you for joining us and invite you to subscribe to the show, as well as checking out the Propulsion Swimming YouTube channel for weekly tutorials and videos to get your swimming fix. We will be back next week. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one.